Well, good evening, everyone, and it's your esteemed host, Sir Jebediah Country the Third, and we will be reading the story of The Ugly Duckling. This one is retold by Lynn Bradbury and illustrated by Patilla Stone. It is many versions of this book and this story. You have the nice, kind version of it, and then you have the around and find out version. And this is the around and find out version because they went in on Little Bro. So I'm pretty sure most of y'all know about the Ugly Duckling. At least know the premise of it. I only read about 4 pages of this, maybe 5. They went in on this dude to the point where I'm just like, man, somebody might have to call suicide. Watch for this. Cause I'm telling you, I'm like, who goes in? Even the writer goes in. So in this version of it, it's gonna be a surprise to me and you because I did not finish this story. I may trip over some words. My master didn't teach me how to read or write, but I'm gonna try my best. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. All right. It was a summer in the country. All the hay had been stacked, and the fields of corn were yellow. Round the edges of fields ran deep canals, and right in the middle was an old house. On the banks of the canals grew tall dock leaves. What's dock leaves? Here a duck sat on her nest. She was waiting for her ducklings to hatch. She had been waiting for a long time. Soon all of the eggs had hatched except one. This was the biggest of all the eggs. At last the eggs began to crack. One by one, the ducklings poked their heads out. Chip, chip, they said, as they saw the big outside world. The duck sat on her big egg a little longer until it cracked. Out tumbled the last of her chicks. She looked at him and said, "Oh, shit, oh dear, you're so big and ugly." The next day was warm and sunny. The duck took her new family down to the canal. She splashed into the water. One by one, the ducklings followed her. Soon they were all swimming beautifully, even the big ugly gray one. Next, the mother took her ducklings into the duck yard. "You better stay close to me and watch out for that cat," she said to them. "And remember, bow your head to the duck over there." This was the oldest and most important duck in the yard. We will call her Duck Bitch. The duck yard was very noisy. The ducklings walked close to their mother and remembered to bow their heads. The other ducks thought they were all beautiful, except for the big ugly one. The ducklings lived in the yard, but the ugly duckling was very unhappy. The older ducks pecked at him and laughed. He had nowhere to go. One day, he ran away. He ran until he came to a great marsh, where the wild ducks live. The duckling was very tired. He lay in the rushes for 2 whole days. Then the wild ducks and some geese came to look at him. "You very ugly," they said, and they laughed at him. The poor ugly duckling ran away from the great marsh. He ran over the fields and meadows. The wind blew, and the duckling was cold and tired. It was getting dark. The duckling found a little cottage. It was very old, and the door was falling off. This left a gap just big enough for the duckling to creep inside and out of the cold. An old woman lived in the cottage. She had a cat which could purr and a hen which laid eggs. They found the ugly duckling in the morning. The old woman said, "You can stay here. Now we shall have duck eggs." So the duckling stayed, but he did not lay eggs. The cat said to him, "Can you purr?" "No," said the duckling. The hen said, "Boop, boop, boop, boop. Can you lay eggs?" "No," said the duckling sadly. "Then you must go," said the cat and the hen. The ugly duckling went away again. He walked in the marshes and floated on the water. Everywhere he went, birds and animals said, "How big and ugly you is," even though they said you are. Winter was coming. The leaves had dropped from the trees. The ground was cold and hard, and the duckling had nowhere to stay. One evening, a flock of birds flew overhead. They were beautiful white swans with long necks. "I wish I was like that," said the duckling. Damn, why did he fall? Oh, is he sliding off or something? Wait, let me read. The winter grew colder. The duckling had to pick at the ice to find water. One night, he was so tired he fell asleep on the ice. Oh, this kind of up. In the morning, a farmer found the duckling. He took him home for his wife to look after. Yeah, they about to eat. When the duckling was better, the farmer's children wanted to play with him. He was frightened and tried to run away from them. He flew into the milk churn and then landed into a barrel of flour. The children laughed and tried to catch him. The duckling ran far away. He hid among reeds in the marsh all through the long cold winter. Then the warm spring sun came. The duckling spread his wings. They were strong wings now and flew high into the air. He flew over the canal and saw 3 beautiful swans. As he landed, the duckling saw himself in the water. He was not an ugly duckling at all. He was a beautiful white swan. "Come with us," said the other swans. And he did. That was the end of the story? You think it ain't nothing left? I'm sitting there scrolling. That's it. This page. If that wasn't the most unbelievable, that was so under and overwhelming at the same time. So you telling me little dude sat there and got clowned on the whole time? I thought it was a goose. I didn't think he was going to be a swan. But this dude sat there and got joked on the whole entire time he came out the ass. He came straight out of the egg, got clowned on by his supposed-to-be mama and his siblings. They ain't shit. And then his real mama ain't shit because she put the egg in another nest. That means she didn't want him either. So it already started before he even came out the egg. She did him like a firehouse baby, just left him there and said, "Oh, he'll be fine, I guess." What kind of bull crap is that? I'm sitting there thinking, okay, there's going to be somebody going to take him in and going to, raise him and help him out and be like, "Oh, you're not an ugly duckling and you're so much more." I thought when them white folks got him, I said, man, them white folks finna sit there and take care of him, let him grow up and stuff. Hell no, he sat there, it was just so overwhelming. He just left them too. He didn't even want to risk the fact that they may actually give him a better life. Just because they laughed at him because he had some flour on his ass and then I don't know what to say about that. I should have read the nice version of it. Because the nice version of it, it was like, "Oh, you're such an ugly duckling." That's what the baby said. And then the mama said, "So how could you say that about your brother? I don't believe that. And you're so beautiful and you know how to swim," and stuff like that. She was like a white mama. This was like 1880, motherfucker, you ain't finna make it. That was just so mean. I'm like, that's mean for me. Literally every animal, from his mama, the siblings, the other ducks, a wild bird, some wild ducks, the cat, the chicken, everybody was just being mean. He had a frog looking at him being mean the whole time. And then just out of nowhere, how he survived? That's what I want to say. He by himself, a small hatchling. He survived this whole entire time, right? So this ain't real because anything that big and small and young gonna die. Something gonna eat him. If it wasn't nothing but a hog and said, "You ain't that ugly," and snatched his ass up and made duck nugget out of him. But he survived, so just give benefit of the doubt, he survived. He didn't get eaten. He didn't starve to death. I don't know how. I don't know how he knew what to eat. But anyway, he makes it. Runs out of these white folks' house, go into a marsh, stay there for the entire winter in solitude. Do you realize how messed up his mental health probably was? He probably gonna be the weirdest swan just flying in there. He flying backwards and shit. He just doing all kind of stupid stuff. He twirling in the air. He actually flapping his wings when they all soaring. He don't know because he was by himself. And then he learned how to fly. That's a learned behavior. They don't just know how to fly. He'd have
was walking around, didn't even know he could fly, because ain't nobody taught him. He was by himself in a marsh, and then here he go look at some damn water. I'm pretty after all. Like, no, man. No, that was cruel. I hate what they did to you. But how are all these other swans gonna be fake? Somebody say, oh yeah, come with us. Kind of bull crap is that? It's like, I'm gonna tell you exactly what that seemed like to me. That was literally like on some like organizational, like that was like being a Kappa. I ain't coming for the Kappas, but that like some Kappa shit. You had this one ugly ass dude. He got a little money. He sat there and finally got the acne off his face. He got kind of cool, and he wore the right red shirt. And then all the other Kappas, someone said, we might could use that. Hey, Brody, come with us real quick. That's what that felt like. Like he went his whole freshman, sophomore, and junior year, no, and then finally senior year, he cleaned up himself, got a lineup, and then all of a sudden they said, you know what? What about that? Right? That's what that felt like. That was terrible. I ain't reading Ugly Duckling no more. I ain't even telling my children about that. That messed my day up. But thank y'all for watching. And we'll do this again. But damn, man, they didn't have to do that, man, like that. And I hated that ending. Sit there, that damn ending like that. Look. Oh, and then he just woke up. He was just, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.